At the sight, I leaned my back against the door and laughed loud and long. I had always known that vengeance would be sweet, but I had never hoped for the contentment of soul which now possessed me. This would have to continue. There must be more vengeance to be found, and there must be more vengeance to be committed in silver nitrate form. And this concludes another chapter of Blood and Celluloid by Cecil B. DeMille. Perhaps we'll continue that next week. I'm going to go back to the library first. Welcome to another late night horror stream here at twitch.tv/purblindgamer. I hope everybody is doing well and is not quite as exhausted as I am. I should probably drink more caffeine. But I have to go to sleep after stream and then get up for work. It's a vicious cycle. Maybe if I went to work right now, then I could stream starting at 4 a.m. and then sleep. Nah, I feel like there may be such a thing as too much experimentation. Yeah, wild and busy week at work. Blah. But hopefully everyone else's week is going well. Welcome in, Stock, and hey, how are you doing? And Great White Knoll. And we had a redemption for Save a Dolphin. Yeah, I suppose that's a worthy cause, and a good way to kick off the stream. Oh, and by the way, thank you to everybody who came out to my last couple of streams. We made a bit more progress on Alone in the Dark 3 on Sunday. Yeah, that was Sunday, the day I've always streamed for a couple of years. Don't know why I forgot that. And on Saturday, we played Halloween-themed games for Short Horror Saturday. And tonight we're getting back into Frames of Fear. And I kind of don't think we'll finish it, but we'll try and get a good ways into it as things get creepier and creepier. Now, about this whole saving dolphin. It's really quite easy to do in the comfort of your own home, assuming you drink soda or beer. You take the rings that hold the soda or beer, and you destroy them. Yeah, I'd like to see a dolphin get caught in that now. Yeah, just try your best, Flipper, I dare ya. For all I know, I'm saving orcas, too. Jellyfish. And wolves. Hey, I wouldn't rule it out. You ever seen a wolf get stuck in one of these? Yeah, me neither. 'Cause it kills them. But mostly dolphins. Here. Stay safe, you aquatic mammals, and don't go around kidnapping any wine gods. It won't end well for you. Oh yeah, and happy Spooktober. Hope everybody has some fun plans for Halloween coming up. Still trying to organize some friends to get together and do something. Yeah. Me trying to organize things. But it doesn't always work out well. You can see why people get personal assistants to handle that sort of thing. But you guys didn't come here to hear me talk. You guys came here for Nightmare Frames. The story so far. We play Alan Goldberg, a screenwriter in the 1980s who wants to make highbrow cinema, but instead is writing slasher movies and exploitative horror movies, which are doing pretty well. But we begin by investigating the suicide of a studio executive, which takes us on a complicated trail to a very small production company making Z-grade horror and science fiction. And we help the director, or the producer there, find a director and an actress. And he directs us to one Ms. Westmore, an incredibly powerful figure in Hollywood who can basically give people whatever they want. and she charges us to find the lost film of a director named Edward Keller. He only made one film, a horror film called Bloody Mind Games, which is incredibly disturbing. His lost film is supposed to be many times worse. Our search takes us to, well, first to his daughter, who is actually a famous horror host and kind of hates our guts. But we made friends with her and went to an old farm where sort of a hippie commune it used to be, and got attacked by a vicious hand when we tried to be friendly to it. I know what's going to get eaten for Sunday dinner this week, yes. And saved the life of an older drug-addled hippie who was running a small cult there. May have had to get help from a prostitute and a drug dealer because it's LA. What are you going to do? And then we realized that Edward Keller had been involved with the cult long ago, or the cult on this site, and the other members at the time, or two of them, had gone on to found the Church of Mother Earth, which is a very large cult-like religion, which has achieved shocking levels of success. So we infiltrate it, promptly piss off the founders, get kicked out. And one of the founders meets us in a gay porno theater. I mean, where else are you going to meet secretly? And tells us more about Edward Keller and the history. It seems that Edward Keller was a violent, power-hungry psychopath who got a hold of this book from that an alchemist wrote hundreds of years ago that could make very horrible things appear. When he tried it on the cult in the 60s, one person died of a heart attack, another ripped her eyes out, and the co-founder of the big cult said he was there and he'd seen horrible things, and it was all real. It wasn't mass hysteria. Keller went to a small town called Serena to work on his next film, The Lost One, and sort of vanished. But if he's alive, he's very dangerous. And so, Alan Goldberg takes the bus to the town of Serena and gets left there by the bus driver in a town that I believe is mostly abandoned and definitely creepy. And this is where we continue Nightmare Frames. Hey, let's mix it up and play in Spanish tonight. Except I don't speak Spanish. Good question, Stock. I don't know if the developers are Spanish or... I would guess it's either because Spanish is one of the most common languages and they figured it would make it accessible to more audiences. Or, hey X-Brad, how are you doing? Or maybe the developers themselves are Spanish. I don't know, but we'll play it in English. Thank you for the offer, X-Spread. Yeah. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Which I believe is Spanish for imbibe, drink, bar. Where's the bar? No sé nada de bibliotecas. There are no libraries. Right. You don't know anything about libraries. How long it's been since I've studied Spanish. Here we are. A serene little town. Earth and I as alert and awake as I am. It makes no sense. Oh well. Wait, let me move this and move my chat overlay a bit. Yeah. Oh! Freeze! What? Not a single step further or I'll blow your brains out. And hands where I can see them. Oh shit. That was quite a way to start. Neither the constant sound of the rain on the roof nor the annoying, musty smell have prevented you from staying relatively well, or sleeping relatively well. Although nothing made you think the day before that you would end up in the cell of a police station in a godforsaken town. What? The door was open? Without hesitation, you decide to leave the cell. And hope there were no important items in the cell. You slam the cell door with the intention of never setting foot in there again. Or in one ever again. Oh yeah. Didn't I say I was going to try and figure out how to edit files or something and change the color of the font? Yeah, well, I say a lot of things. You've been accompanied all night by the sound of a drop falling on the metal stove, as if it were the second hand of a wind-up clock. The little door probably won't budge. And anyway, you don't need to open it. Dozens of pieces of clothing are piled up in the basket, absorbing moisture and mildew. Yeah, let's not put anything on. The steps would not be able to support your weight due to their poor condition. It would be dangerous to climb on it. Anything here we need, though? Nope. You can use the press if you need to force something open, and it's missing the handle. Is the press attached to the washing machine? Goldberg. The cell door was unlocked and I unlocked it. I called all the places you told me. Ruskin Productions, Joe's Diner, Astounding FX. Your alibi is pretty solid. As far as I'm concerned, you weren't in Serena during the last few days. I also said so in my statement. I already said so in my statement. I've never been here before. Yes, of course. I have no doubts about that. As far as the law is concerned, you are a free man. I am sorry for giving you a hard time. What's done is done. Oh, and by the way, I've been speaking with Eliza. Wait till the folks at Wade Creek hear about this. Great gal, isn't she? Very nice. By the way, I'm Police Chief Bowman, but you can call me Rick. Can I drop the formalities and call you Alan? Yes, sure. Okay, Alan, how can I help you? Do you have any coffee? I need some. Of course, it's right next to the door. Help yourself. It's from yesterday, but I warmed it up in the radiator. Works for me. There's not a lot of luxuries in this police station. I try to spruce it up a bit every time I come here. As I was saying, sorry for the misunderstanding last night, but you gotta understand, 3 days ago a little girl went missing, Sarah Jordan, 14 years old. It doesn't seem likely that she ran away. The girl is a little slow. She has special needs, if you know what I mean. We swept the town and the surrounding area. The fact that you, a complete stranger, showed up in town in the middle of the night made you a suspect. Makes sense. No hard feelings. You were just doing your job. I'm glad you feel that way. So, Alan, you mentioned a guy named Keller. That is what brought you to this town. Do you know Edward Keller? No, last night was the first time I'd heard of him. You mentioned that he probably ended up in Serena. That's right. A reporter interviewed him in the early 1970s. That was a long time ago. He could be somewhere else. Probably, but it's the only lead I have on him. I can ask some questions around town about Keller or about that reporter. Someone should remember. It would be nice of you, especially after I made you sleep in that dump back there. The cells are a mess. I had to say it. Only the cells? The whole police station. What the hell? The whole town. Serena lost its municipality status back in 1980. Now everyone is managed from Wade Creek. I'm the chief of police here. I come here once a month to check that everything is okay. Except in the case of an emergency, of course. Like what happened to poor Sarah Jordan. And when I have a day off, I sometimes drop by to clean up a bit. Where can I find the former chief of police? He might know something about Keller. Marvin Floyd? He died 4 years ago. He left his position in the mid-70s. Poor Floyd spent his last years in a wheelchair. Last year, the Wade Creek City Council realized that Serena hadn't had a police chief for over a decade. And, well, here I am. The guy who brought me didn't want to come into Serena. Serena does not have much of a reputation around these parts, and it's not like its people are very welcoming either. It's not that. He looked scared. Yeah, well, nothing but misfortune has happened here since the town was founded. One of the worst tragedies to ever strike the town was the fire at the Clark Morgan High School. All the students perished in it. Wow. That's terrible. On top of that, the locals believe they see things. Although I'm not surprised that after all these folks have been through, they're a bit, off their rocker. I think it's also because of the water. The river has been polluted for decades, but they don't seem to care. What kind of things do the people in Serena think they see? I don't know, visions or something like that. It's like they're on a permanent bad trip, you know. If you talk to them, they try to convince you that they see ghosts. Don't play along. Are you done with the coffee? Yes. Come closer. I need to ask you a favor. The search for Sarah Jordan concluded yesterday. There is no trace of her. I've managed to convince 2 guys from the town, Mike Reeves and Fred Munson, to do a new sweep. They don't want poor Sarah to meet the same fate as Mary Elizabeth Hellman, a girl who disappeared 10 years ago. Well, to the point. Half an hour ago, Gordon Daggett, a guy who lives on the outskirts of town, called and said his dog had been killed. I have to take care of that, but Sarah Jordan is my priority. Could you go over to Daggett's house and see what that's all about? I'm not a cop. But I can make you deputy. What do you say? You just have to go there, listen to what he has to say, and take note of everything. And take a look at the corpse, too. That's all? Simple, huh? When the sweep is over, I'll talk to some of the locals and see if they know anything about Keller. All right, I'll do it. Great. By the power vested in me by the law. Just kidding. There's a map in the info panel. I've marked Gordon Daggett's house for you. Well, I gotta go. The boys are waiting for me. By the way, grab that jacket there on the hanger. It was Chief Floyd's. It will come in handy. The weather's nasty out there.
Damned rain. Yeah. Police are actually quite reasonable after they, pull a gun and threaten to kill you. But yes, once you get past that. Due to the fact that Serena's telephone service has not been updated since 1990s or 1930s, the town still maintained Margaret Swanson, aged 84, as its operator. Wow. Old manual switchboards. Most wanted posters, emergency phone numbers, and the occasional memo, all dating back to the last decade. These folks are probably behind bars and the phones are no longer operational. You see a map of the Serena area. It's mine now. Filing cabinets. With decades of police reports, possibly Keller. This will take a while. A long while. Nothing. I wasted my time. You don't mean to drink that, do you? Marvin Floyd, Serena's former police chief, spent the last year of his life trying to solve the disappearance of Mary Elizabeth Hillman. He did not succeed. Nowadays, everyone believes her to be dead. You look through the papers. Keller's name does not appear on any of them. Pictures show the police station's exterior in 3 different periods: 1890, 1925, 1968. Yeah, those are all the same pictures. You take Chief Floyd's jacket, as recommended by Rick Bowman. It has a double lining and is made of leather, which will keep out the rain. And is there anything in the pockets? That's what I want to know. Here. I don't think we need more coffee. Yeah. Kinda think that's a little bit illegal. Flag flying in the rain. Police station breaking the laws. Of course, maybe that flag's been up for 10 years. What do I know? An old Mary Elizabeth Hillman search poster has weathered the elements since the 1970s. A morgue. Yeah, as long as it's not Silent Hill. This game is creepy enough. I'm guessing that's Daggett. I feel like there is a Batman villain named Daggett in the cartoons I watched as a kid. I have the name right. Despite his affection for his pet, Gordon Daggett forbade him from entering the cabin. People tend to think that California has an arid climate, but there are some areas where the winter is very harsh. Serena also has a special microclimate. As long as his woodshed is not empty, the cold is no problem for Gordon Daggett. There's nothing inside except the traces of hair and the occasional chicken bone. I feel like you're not supposed to feed dogs chicken bones. You hear a gun being cocked on the other side of the door. Shit. Oh, fuck. Take that, you motherfucking witch! What the fuck are you doing? You don't sound like a witch. That's because I'm not a witch. Who are you? I'm Alan Goldberg, I'm Bowman's deputy. Bowman has no deputy. He does now, goddammit. All right. Get off the porch and stand in front of the house. I'm coming out. If this is a trick, I'll blow your head off, you goddamn witch. Well, California's a dangerous place. You look like a man and dress like the deputy chief of police. Prove to me that you're not fucking with me, witch. You know what? I only came here to help, and I will not tolerate having a shotgun pointed at my face. I'm leaving. Wait! Did Chief Bowman really send you? Yes, damn it. And put that damned gun down. Okay, it's nothing personal. I just had to make sure. Let's get this over with. Bowman told me that. Bowman, huh? Why hasn't he come in person? You can tell he's not one of us. He's looking for that girl, Sarah Jordan. The last remaining young person in Serena. God sure knows how to punish us. The chief should stop looking for her. She'll never show up. Like Mary Elizabeth Hellman. Anyway, come with me. Good God, what's that smell? A river. You'll get used to it. All the Wade Creek factories used to dump their waste here years ago. I used Serena as a sewer. Do the townsfolk still drink the water? Do we have a choice? Focus on what you came here for. There's Milo. She came out of those bushes on the other side and made her way through the rocks. Then she attacked Milo and began to eat him. Who? A witch, damn it! She was crawling on her belly like she was a snake. She only used her arms to move. Maybe your imagination was playing tricks on you. Maybe what you saw was... It was a witch! I saw her just like I'm seeing you. All right, calm down. I'll take a look at your dog's corpse and report back to Chief Bowman. Do what you have to do. I'm leaving. I don't want to be here in case that witch shows up again. Before you go, may I ask you something? Spit it out. Does the name Edward Keller sound familiar? A Hollywood guy. Yes, exactly. What about him? Is he still in town? I don't think so. He hasn't been seen for years. Did you get to know him? No, he didn't talk to anyone. Except that journalist who lived here at the time. I don't remember his name. Maybe Robert Saxon remembers. Ask him. Used to be friends with that guy. Where can I find him? Now? At the bridge. He's usually over there at this time. His wife hanged herself from it. He goes there every day. When you're done, let me know. I'll take Milo out of here and bury him. And tell Bowman to arm all the men in town. We must hunt down that infernal creature. Is that the bridge now? The railroad bridge. Supplies material to the factories. Miss Milo, Gordon Daggett's dog, lies on the ground, victim of a horrific attack. Ugh. Yeah, that's pretty horrific. The dog's belly has been cut open. You don't know much about canine anatomy, but you swear some organs are missing. Owen told you to take a look at Milo's body, and although it's your first time as Deputy Chief of Police, you want to do your job as well as possible. There's more to be found. The muzzle is completely dislocated, as if the upper and lower jaw had been forced violently in opposite directions. And I hate games where animals get hurt. What strikes you most about the whole scene is the stone. It appears to have been used to violently bash his skull in. Does it want me to exit? What does it want me to find? It's the muzzle. Wait. There's blood on his nails, which indicates that Milo tried to get away from his attacker. You finish examining the scene. Let Gordon Daggett know that he can now remove the dog from here. This river should be declared a disaster zone. I don't think there's anything else here. Several pelts hang from the porch. You find it difficult to identify which animals they belong to. I didn't get out of the way. I finished examining Milo. Thank you. I will prepare the stuff to bury him. The carcass of a poor fawn hangs on the wall, while the flies hover over it. The corpse radiates a terrible smell. You don't know how long it's been there, but probably too long in any case. The fate of these animals upsets you so much that you would not wear one, even under the threat of severe hypothermia. Well, if it came to that, yes, maybe you would. Can't see anything. Yeah, agreed, Ephraimi. That's one of the more disturbing things. Hopefully we don't have to go back to the river. But how are you doing tonight? Ooh, I found something. What is that? Piece of stale bread. My first thought when I saw it in the inventory was that it was the joint of a human finger. Gordon Daggett struggles with back pain and has difficulty wielding an axe to cut firewood, although he would certainly have no problems using it to threaten anyone who dared to snoop in his woodshed. No, that's a shame. It works making your hands really dry. But I hope you're able to do something with that. That doesn't sound pleasant. You seem to have lost your way trying to find a shortcut to the bridge. Good Lord. The scorched body is missing its lower limbs. Perhaps they are among the smoking pieces that are scattered around. Going by their size and build, you deduce that their remains belong to a teenager. Maybe they belong to the missing girl that Bowman is looking for. We need to get out of here then. Hey, freeze! Who are you? And why are you wearing Chief Floyd's jacket? Take it easy, boys. He's with me. Are you sure? Yes, he's my new deputy. I need to talk to him. I know there's been no luck, but thank you very much for your help. We'll keep in touch. Chief. What are you doing here? Are you lost? I think I found the girl. Her corpse. What? Where? Here, come. What? Where is it, Alan? It was here. That log? I swear. Never mind. You haven't even been here for 24 hours, and you're already seeing visions like the locals. I don't know, Rick. I thought that it doesn't matter. We could not find the girl. Either the earth swallowed her up, or most likely, someone has snatched her. I will issue a search warrant beyond Serena. I hope I'm wrong and she shows up somewhere, preferably alive. Have you talked to Daggett? Yes. So? He said a witch appeared in the river and ate his dog. A witch, huh? Fuck. The girl is missing and this idiot wants me to deal with the witch feasting on his pooch. Obviously, the part about the witch is hogwash. But there was a bloody stone next to the dog. I very much doubt that the dog hit its head on it and died. I think someone used it to crush its skull. You know what I think? I think Daggett is the one who killed the mutt. Why would he kill his own dog? If I knew what happens inside these people's heads, I would become a shrink and make a fortune here. I don't know, Alan. Maybe the pooch was old and no longer useful to Daggett as a hunting dog. Maybe he was fed up with him, smashed his head in, and then felt remorse for what he did. To avoid admitting it, he makes up that witch story and comes busting my balls to get some extra attention. Case closed. Whatever you say, you're the expert. Let's move on to something more important. I've been talking to Mike and Fred about your stuff. The Keller thing. They have no idea, but Fred said that Father Adamson had some relationship with him. You could go and ask him. He has a lot of free time. No one in town goes to church. Not even Jesus drops by. Get it? By the way, where were you headed? To the bridge. Be careful in these woods. You wouldn't be the first one to get lost. You better get back to town. I'll show you a shorter way to the bridge. Said that there were skinned horses in The Witcher 3. Yeah, that sounds pretty unpleasant. Robert Saxon? Yeah? Gordon Daggett told me I would find you here. What do you need? Did you know a variety reporter who was in Serena some years ago? Sure, Bill. He was a friend of mine. Not many people from Los Angeles used to come to Serena. You're from Los Angeles too, right? How did you know that I'm from L.A.? The way you talk, I guess. Did he ever mention Edward Keller's name to you? Yes, of course. That was the reason he ended up here. It had been a few months since Keller had moved to Serena when Bill arrived with the intention of interviewing him. Keller turned him down several times until he finally budged. Do you know where I can find him? He married Florence, a local girl, and they moved to Wade Creek. He didn't want to go back to Los Angeles, let alone stay in Serena, although they didn't intend to go too far away either. Florence had a sister here. I haven't seen them since they left. They haven't shown up around town either, so I can't tell you exactly where he lives. By the way, what do you want with Bill? I'm looking for Keller. I think your friend might be able to give me some clue about where I can find him. Keller. A sinister fellow. He used to be seen walking around town, but we never knew where he lived. Do you think Bill might know? I hope so. Let's see. Bill used to write for the Serena Gazette, the closest thing to a newspaper we've ever had. I know that sometime later the publication was still receiving articles from him. His address might be in the Gazette's archives. If you can get to them. What do you mean? The Serena Gazette was edited in a basement below Steve Talbot's repair shop. Many years ago, Fred Gunton, the tenant, got fed up with Talbot not paying his rent, so he threatened to kick him out. Talbot's answer was to take a bulldozer and tear down the repair shop. That's Serena for you. Sanity is a rare trait around these parts. The Gazette is still there, under the debris. If you can get to it, you might be able to find Bill's address. That's no small feat. Daggett said you come here every day. Yes, my wife. She hanged herself from this bridge. I'm sorry. She couldn't bear the death of our daughter, Nancy. May I ask how your daughter died? Forget it. Pardon my impertinence. Don't worry. It's my pleasure to talk to someone from out of town, even if it is about this. People around here are not very prone to conversation. They're quite special. You're not from here. No, San Francisco. We wanted a change of scenery and to live in a small town surrounded by nature. And we made the worst choice of our lives by moving to this damned town. My daughter Nancy died in the high school fire. I've never heard about it. Serena's history is written in blood. There have always been misfortunes here. But what happened to the high school? They had a small basketball team. It wasn't even federated. But they brought in all the youth every Friday. When the fire started, most of the town was there. Parents, young people, children, Nancy. How did the fire happen? Were there any survivors? A gas leak, they said. The fire dilated the door of the gym and no one was able to open it. 80 people burned to death. There were no survivors. A real tragedy. I'm so sorry about your daughter. Kate suffered from severe depression. I couldn't do anything for her, and the only way out she saw was to... It's all right. I understand. I come out here every day to mourn her death. I have no tears left, but I have nothing else to do in this damned town. Can you tell me something about Keller? What little I know is what Bill told me. Apparently he came here to shoot a movie. But we never saw any cameras or equipment. What happened to Keller? I have no idea. One day, he was no longer here. He disappeared just as suddenly as he had arrived. Oops. I must go. Take care. Every week, Robert Saxon religiously changes what used to be his wife's favorite flowers. There's a small teddy bear trapped among the rocks. People of Serena keep complaining about how the factories in Wade Creek used to dump all their waste in the river. The fact that they themselves used the river as a landfill is another story. We need to get down. Oh, there's the crow. You have no intention of disturbing the crow, although it wouldn't hurt if it stopped cawing so frequently. Your experiences with petting friendly birds recently have not turned out so well, and you have a vendetta back outside LA. Several objects protrude from the debris. According to Robert Saxon, what remains of the Serena Gazette is under the ruins of the repair shop. It was probably accessed from somewhere inside, but you don't see an entrance through the rubble. You rummage through the debris for anything useful. There's nothing useful except for an old gas can that still seems to have some fuel left. It does pay to go searching through random junk on the street. I must remember that. Oh no, shit. Shit. Oh wait, I'm still alive. Getting up from the ground so quickly it takes its toll. You feel a sudden dizziness and notice a tremendous pain caused by the concussion from falling down the shaft. I hope that damn film is worth it, Helen. A stack of newspapers dating back to the beginning of the decade. Closed. Documents, newspaper clippings, the occasional book, and a typewriter have been gathering dust since Stephen Talbot bulldozed the building with his bulldozer, or raised the building with his bulldozer. You look at each and every one of the trays on the desk. A small key under several newspaper clippings catches your eye. Like someone crying? Hello? Anybody here? Ew. It's just a map. Spooky indeed, Great White Knoll. One of these might mention Edward Keller, but you have neither the time nor the will to find out. Bound newspapers, encyclopedias, dictionaries, nothing you feel like reading. At the moment, you might take in a dictionary later on. The first few stairs are intact. From there, the debris accumulates until it blocks the only exit leading to the outside. If you were a jaguar, you could simply jump up the broken stairs with no trouble. But you're not, yet, a jaguar. Since it was founded, all editions of the Serena Gazette were printed at Wade Creek. Having its own printing press was too expensive for such a small print run. Everything changed in 1964 when the Gazette's owner found a rickety work print T4723 in a Wade Creek landfill. Stephen Talbot's hands worked their magic, and every issue has been printed at this location ever since. Well, until it was bulldozed. Yeah, no, we don't need to print anything. No, that's the stairs. Over here. Through the hole, you hear a strong water current, which makes you think that the drain flows directly into Serena's sewer system and not into a pipe. Despite not being screwed in, the grate won't budge. You might not be strong enough to lift it. Then again, you might. Who? See, there's no lock. Nothing else on the desk. What is that, though? Just a newspaper machine? Closed. Also locked, apparently. Oh! You swear you saw something, wouldn't you? That's why you turned around. Because you felt a presence down here. No. Let's see. Bill Eastman. You browse through the documents in alphabetical order. Here it is. Bill Eastman. Bell Street, 14, Wade Creek. Alan, are you there? Rick? Down here. I drove by and saw you going into Talbot's old repair shop. Then I lost track of you. You can't climb up here, can you? You'll have to give me a hand. Jack Morton has one of those rope ladders. I'll ask him for it. Shit. Where should I go? It's just a figure of speech. Mind your step. The ground is not stable. I'm a cop, Alan. Safety is the most... Rick? Are you okay? Damn! God damn it! Jesus Christ! Can you move? Yes, I believe so. Who would have thought that being overweight would save me from breaking my back? My fat ass cushioned the fall. Shall I help you get up? No, don't worry, I can do it. Here goes. He's alright. Fuck it. Hurts all over. The old Serena Gazette. This place gives people the creeps. Why? After a few months before the high school fire, a teenage girl was working as an intern here. She had a relationship with the editor of the Gazette. That son of a bitch with a minor. The guy got tired of the relationship and fired the girl. She used to come around here, but that guy gave her the runaround. The poor girl couldn't think of anything else to get his attention than, well, blackmailing him with taking her own life. And she went too far. Such a shame. She was only a teenager. Do you have kids, Alan? No. Do you? A daughter. She doesn't talk to me. Well, she yells at me, but that's not talking. Anyway, months after the suicide, the editor of the Gazette began to say that he could hear the girl moaning, you know. Soon the word spread that this building was haunted. You believe that story? No, but the townspeople do. You might hear that Talbot destroyed the building because of rent troubles and whatnot. But that bastard tore down the repair shop because he was afraid of what was going on here. That's what happened. How's that sound? I'm sick of being here. Let's find a way out. Yeah, let's get to work. Perhaps he can help me. I can't do it. Can you give me a hand? Of course. Come on. Okay, 1, 2, 3. We have no choice but to go down there, right? Not unless we grow wings and fly out of this hole. Once we get to the sewer, it shouldn't be too hard to get out of here. Well then, after you. Quiet, Alan. Did you hear that? Yeah, I've heard it before too. I don't think we're alone in here. For heaven's sake! What? Oh my God! Alan, jump! Was it burning? Or was it just dark light coming from it? See? I didn't need your help to climb up. I'm a man of action. I asked you if you wanted help because I saw that you were having a hard time getting out of the water. I don't know what's going on with me, but my heart is beating out of my chest. You saw the same thing I did, didn't you? I know I saw something that couldn't possibly have been there. It was a ghost, Alan. We're having the same hallucinations as the people of Serena. I told you, it's because of the water. I haven't drunk Serena water. No? What about the coffee you had at the police station? I ran out of bottled water and made coffee with tap water. And we both had the same hallucination? Because you saw that. What I saw. A woman, right? Yes. Fuck yes. Shit, Alan. I'm just trying to make sense of all this. I know, Rick. I'm racking my brains too. And why are you so calm? Oh shit, Alan. What's wrong with you? My heart. It feels as if it's jumping out of my chest. I'm having a heart attack. What? Oh damn. Oh damn. Calm down. It must be an anxiety attack. You wouldn't dare leave me stuck here with a corpse, would you? Knock it off. You're a Hollywood screenwriter, not a doctor. Shit. Lean back against the wall. Easy. Little by little. Now what? Breathe in deeply. Hold your breath for a few seconds and exhale slowly. Have you ever had an anxiety attack? No, but I work in the movie industry. I see them very often. Keep it up. Breathe in deep. Keep it up. Feeling better? I think so. No, I don't know. Hey, Alan. At Wade Creek, I've seen it all. Believe me, things that would scare anyone. I have been trained to keep a cool head at all times. But this... I felt an overwhelming fear. This is not like me. I have never experienced this feeling in my life. Tell me about it later, okay? Right now, you need to calm down. Don't think about anything. Try to keep your mind blank. Yes. In the meantime, I'll try to find us a way out of here. Alan, yeah? If I don't make it out of this, tell my daughter that I love her very much. I know I should have spent more time with her, and... Her name is Claire. Claire Bowman. She lives in Wade Creek, in... You tell her yourself. Now, you know, mind blank. Okay? Yeah, mind blank. A series of switches inside the control the light of this part of the sewer. Should we see if we can do anything with that? But it's locked. Oh, maybe I should save. Yeah, agreed, it is a really involved game. Detailed story. I couldn't resist. Behind the ventilation grill is an air duct large enough for one person. The grill would yield were it not secured by a single screw on the lower right side. Metal door corroded by humidity and the passages of time provides access to another part of the facilities. The turbulence of the water and the low light prevent you from seeing the bottom. But you decide not to hop in. It doesn't look very clean. There used to be an access hatch here that was connected to Caldecott Street. Nobody knows why the entrance was bricked up. It's a warning to sewer workers. It warns of possible wall collapses in this area. The uniform belongs to Billy Green Hickey, the Wade Creek Sewer Maintenance Service Officer. A year ago, he was sent to perform a visual inspection of the conditions of Serena's subterranean infrastructure. He never returned home. A screwdriver protrudes from one of the pockets. The sewer network fades into the darkness in that direction. Yeah, can't get through there, obviously. Oh, I think there's no way out of... Rick? Hey, Rick! Damn it, where'd he go? You find it hard to believe that Rick would leave without telling you anything. You doubt it was him who closed the door. Rick, are you there? I don't know if I'd be bold enough to knock on that door. The flat tip of your screwdriver is too large to fit into the Phillips screw. Without answer came there none. Ghosts! Yeah. There's a lot going on here. Maybe the lighting box. Hey, you find another screwdriver inside. This time it's a Phillips. You don't think you'll use the other one anymore, so you replace it with this one. Since it's a Phillips, you wonder if you can play CDI games with this screwdriver. Oh. You hold in your hand the screw you just removed. The grating, well, it's floating away. Are you listening to me? Wake up! What's going on here? Rick? Damn it! I'm talking to you! What the? I said wake up! Tell me, did you bring one of those monsters with you? What? What is this bullshit? Did you do this? Get me down from here. I am an officer of the law, you fucking asshole. Don't yell at me. I can't stand being yelled at. Oh yeah? I can't stand being hanged like an animal either. Put me the fuck down. You're in big trouble, motherfucker. I don't think so. Nobody's going to find out, you know. Just like they never find out what happened to that maintenance guy. Just a sec. What are you going to do? I can't feed on rats forever, you know. You're going to eat me, you son of a bitch? I've got to survive down here. One can no longer stay on the surface. It's full of monsters up there. They make you feel a terrible fear until you die of a heart attack. Oh yeah, Split, like the movie, yeah. Like Christy and Murray. Those monsters won't get me down here. I swear by all that is holy that if I get down from here, the only thing you're going to eat is my fist. Nothing personal, Chief. I wish there was another net way, but if someone has to live, I'd rather it be me. I saved not that long ago. Living in the sewers, feeding on rats and occasionally humans, is not incompatible with keeping this place moderately tidy. The rope from which Rick is hanging, like a carcass in a slaughterhouse, is tied to that pipe. Bob will see you if you try to rummage through the trash. Getting Bob's attention could have unforeseen consequences for you and Rick, like disembowelment by knife and subsequent being eaten. It was like, what's that? What's that? Consumption? Consummation? I think. Bob Wells has been living in the sewers for a year. Apparitions like the ones you witnessed a few minutes ago undermined his sanity. Since then, he believes he is safe from them down here. trying to get his attention. He did say try to get his attention. What was that? Must have been a damn rat. I'm sick of feeding on them. Do you understand now why I'm doing this? Hang in there, Bowman. Bob was cooking his usual dinner when, to his surprise, he discovered that he could switch up the menu. Can't pick up the rat and use that in any way. Several vegetables that even a fasting rat wouldn't eat float in more than 5 gallons of constantly boiling water. Everything indicates that Bob prefers to boil his victims rather than grilling or frying them. On days like this, Bob Wells usually collects the rainwater that seeps through the manhole covers on the asphalt. Otherwise, he makes do with the water running down the sewer. You wonder how he can still be alive with no apparent symptoms of cholera or dysentery. We got rainwater. What can you do with the water? What? Impossible. The water has stopped boiling? I'm going to see what's going on. Don't do anything, okay? Son of a bitch. What the fuck is going on here? Rick? Alan, come on, untie me. Hurry up. What the hell? What? How? Surprise! Not one step further, you fucking degenerate. Watch out, Rick. He's got a machete. And I have a gun. What do you mean by that? Drop the knife, you degenerate cannibal. You're not taking me back to the surface. I'd rather die than... Wow. Crack shot. You're quite the marksman. I was pointing at his shoulder. And you, hands up. What are you going to do with him? What I would like to do with him would land me in jail. All I know is that I don't want to have this scum around. I'll call the guys at Wade Creek and have them take him down there. You're lucky, you son of a bitch. You're going to eat normal for once in your life. I said you're not going to take me to the surface. Shut up. I should have slit you open while I had the chance. Look, you have just exhausted my patience. That's it. What are you doing? Was that necessary? What? Hitting him with the butt of your gun and knocking him out. I wouldn't have done it if he had only run a stop with his car. He wanted to fucking eat me. What you just did is called police brutality. Do you think I'm an LA copper? Do you want to bust my balls? Because if you are going to bust my balls like this guy did, I can hit you with the butt of my gun too. Relax, will you? I'm relaxed. I see. It's all over now, so take it easy. Fuck, Alan. Nothing affects you. How can you be so cold? I don't know. I'm just like that. All right, I'm calm. And, sorry I didn't tell you sooner, but thanks for saving my life. No problem, Rick. Forget about it. I found an exit to the surface. It's in that room. Really? Great. I'll stay here and tie up the cannibal with that rope before he wakes up. Do what you have to do. I'll see you later, okay? There are some things we need to talk about. What things? Well, the kind of stuff people like this hick are saying. They're right, Alan. Serena is haunted. You know what, Rick? I think I'll stick with your theory about the polluted water. It is far more rational than accepting that we've seen anything supernatural. Think whatever you want. I know what I saw. And so do you. We'll talk about it later, okay? Be careful. Ghosts, cannibals, what next? You look around while breathing heavily so your lungs will fill with clean air as quickly as possible. A plaque on one of the buildings indicates that you are on Serena's main street. Her clothes and accessories inside have been collecting dust for 15 years. No one has set foot inside Jenny's fashion since it was closed. Until now. Oops. There's barely enough light inside to perceive any shapes, but you hear the occasional cat meowing. Knocking on the door to get information about Keller is not the most rational course of action. There's someone in the phone booth. Matt Fridley has been hogging the WK107 phone line for some time now, shutting out those who also want to provide some insight into Sarah Jordan's disappearance. Mary Elizabeth Hellman's posters taped to the shutter of O'Connell's old hardware store have withstood the elements for more than a decade. O'Connell's old hardware store has been closed for more than 10 years. His son didn't want to carry on with the family legacy, as his dream was always to escape Serena and live his own life. He ended up committing suicide a year later in Wade Creek. Jeez, everything's dark here.
Look at this. A million weak spots up here. Give me one of those.
Photograph from 36. Given how little it's changed, it could have been taken 3 days ago. What's that on the TV? There's a small TV station in Wade Creek that fills its schedule with public domain films. It's not unusual to tune in and run into classics like Night of the Living Dead and Carnival of Souls. Carnival of Souls is a great movie. The counter, several weights from an old scale. I'm gonna take them. You pick up the smallest weight without Paul Collins noticing. Oh, that's the druggist, I guess, in a white coat. Inside the display cases at the counter, you see bottles of liquor, sodas, marmalade jars, and nuts. There's a sign forbidding access to non-employees, but you don't need one to know that you can't go in there, right? Yeah. But eating is the last thing on your mind right now. The dusty magazine section has issues that were already old before you were born. Several pulp magazines catch your eye. The actress looks very similar to the time she starred in Clash by Night, so you estimate that this ad must have dated back more than 30 years. Oh, it's Barbara Stanwyck. Says that ML cigarettes are the only cigarettes her doctor recommends. Oh, good. Like the old Camels radio commercials. Scary tales. You read a paragraph. Armed with courage, Rachel reached for the doorknob. Her daughter's screams faded as the door opened. Fearful of losing her again, she pushed the door with all her might and was met again by that massive stone figure. It can't be. We broke you into 1,000 pieces. The Possessors Club, Satan Call. Before fainting, Rachel thought she saw a hint of a smile on his stony face. Not bad. For a moment, you picture yourself at your desk writing a similar scene where the figure doesn't appear when the door is opened, and instead Rachel discovers it behind her after having unsuccessfully searched the room. Yeah, getting inspiration for film from the old pulps. You've always been fascinated by these places that sell both healthy and harmful products side by side. You notice that the design of the tobacco pouches does not belong to this decade. As a child, you used this type of machine a lot. You enjoyed the ritual of putting in the penny and being surprised by the color you got more than you liked actually eating them. I'm guessing it's a gumball machine. I still have some of the penny ones scattered here and there. Mostly in antique stores. Paul Collins hasn't closed the shutters of the only business open today in Serena since 1956. Neither did his father, since it was opened in 1927. He's never left the town and knows no life outside of the counter. And for him, that's more than enough. Hello. We have a deputy as far as I can see. Yes. My name is Alan Goldberg. Paul Collins. Pleased to meet you. I think this is the first open establishment I've seen. And the only one. The owners of the few businesses that remained have either passed away or left Serena. The locals don't care much. Repair shops? No one leaves this town, not even to go to Wade Creek. Clothes? They make do with what they already have. As for food, I have everything here. There are also a couple of farms in case anyone craves meat or eggs. Does the name Edward Keller sound familiar? Yes. A weirdo who wanted to shoot a movie here. He died of a heart attack before finishing it. I think that's what happened. I never cared much for him. I'll take a look around the store. Perfect. Excuse me. How may I help you? I will take a look around the... Oh. I wasn't trying to click on him. I'm trying to click on the counter. I guess it's all food.
This place is ridiculous. Look at this. A million wooden spots up here.
The clock stopped running at 3 o'clock on April 24th, 1981. Is it a calendar clock or something? Looks too small. Paul Collins was grateful not to have to listen to the monotonous ticking of the clock hands in the silence of his establishment. And those are the tobaccos.
Why don't you do something to help somebody?
Medicines.
You better watch this and try to understand what's going on. I don't want anyone's life on my hands.
Is there anything I can do?
I don't want anything more from you. Stay up here, you take orders from me.
That'll wait. Is it worth talking to phone booth guy? Matt Fridley talks non-stop. You can barely hear what he's saying. However, you catch a few stray words through the cabin vents. We're not going to tell you what they are, but you do catch them. Wait, is this? Alright. Been to the church yet? More crows, I hear. Among the service schedules and activities Father Adamson used to organize back in the day, you can see Mary Elizabeth Hellman's missing person poster. He deeply mourned the young woman's disappearance, and together with Chief Floyd, he was one of Serena's most committed participants in her search. Oh, there, look, there's the crow right there. A sinister crow is watching every move you make. Forget about the crow. Don't waste your time on it. For a small church lost in a town as remote as Serena, its beautiful stained glass windows could be the envy of the finest European cathedrals. The board isn't securely fastened to the window with 4 nails. It would be impossible for you to pry it off with your bare hands. Probably for the better. Father Adamson can't stand the constant banging on the window of the window on stormy days like this. Oh, the weight. 11 extra pounds. Well, we might as well just go in, I guess. Welcome to the Temple of Jesus Christ. Chief Bowman's deputy, I see. Yes, and let me guess, you are not a believer either. Well, I only believe in Alfred Hitchcock and Martin Scorsese. You try to emphasize the joke with a smile, but stop yourself, knowing that humor is not your strong suit, as Father Adamson is finding out. You come to tell me that Sarah Jordan has turned up safe and sound, right? No such luck. Agreed, he does look like Severus Snape. God help us all. Chief Bowman has moved heaven and earth to find that poor girl. Will you pray with me? We could use some extra help from up here to find Sarah. Maybe another time. Don't worry, I'm used to praying alone. With your permission, I will continue to do so. Pray that I am not bothered by Potter. Bible rests on one of the... You read a psalm from a random page. Without much to say, I said to the man, "Are you trying to tempt me? Because I come from the land of plenty." Did I rip a page out of the Bible? And I just took the whole Bible. It's the best-selling book of all time. Although, to be fair, it does have a 2,000-year head start on all other bestsellers. Due to the lack of parishioners, Father Adamson has a lot of time on his hands. Lately, he's been doing various maintenance jobs around the church, like, for instance, pulling rusty nails from some of the floorboards. Right, I come from a land down under. Which, I don't know, maybe your land down under is a land of plenty, Great White Knoll. Inside the toolbox, there is an assortment of screws mixed with the sawdust. There's also a pair of pliers that you borrow with the intention of returning them later to Father Adamson. Wow. Stealing from a priest. That's kind of a new low. It's a portrait of Jesus Christ with blue eyes and features as if he had been born in Iowa instead of Bethlehem. Well, God can look however he wants to look in my book, and in his book. That's the Bible. A good sample of generic religious art. Yeah, quote-unquote borrowing. We'll return it right after the game is over, that's right, yeah. Ending credits roll, we go back and give the priest a pair of pliers. Practically the entire population of Serenity passed through that baptismal font shortly after birth. The last to do so was Mary Elizabeth Hellman, who is currently missing. So what, Sarah Jordan was never baptized? The phrase, "Jesus wants the best for you," is embroidered in gold lettering. It's probably the purest, clearest water you've seen since you're in Serena. That's good. In case you need to cleanse something. Shit, I don't know. Father Adamson still remembers who the last person to confess was. That was many years ago, before the entire population of Serena turned its back on religion. You are not willing to confess all your miseries to a stranger, even less so if he's going to give you homework afterwards. Homework. keep it locked. I keep valuables in there, and I want to keep them safe. Yeah, but you can trust me with your valuables, Father. I'm an adventure game protagonist. I wouldn't steal anything. Oh, here are your pliers back. Anything else to say to him? I am glad to see someone walk through these doors after so many years, although, unfortunately, not to pray. How may I help you? I have been told that you don't have many congregants. No, and it's been many years now. Aren't they religious in Serena? They were. Or they still are, I hope, but they don't go to church anymore. Why is that? I think there was a misunderstanding. You're new around here, but have you heard about the Clark Morgan High School fire? Yes, horrible. The worst tragedy we experienced in years. Serena has always been a very quiet town. It has never had any leisure activities except for basketball. People rooted for the high school team, and the Friday games were always a big event. That night, most of the town was there. Teenagers, grandparents, parents with small children. They all perished in the flames. I held a funeral for all those poor souls, and my words did not sit well with the relatives. In my lecture, I said that we all mourn such a loss, and that we should be proud because God had a plan for them. God's ways are inscrutable, aren't they? God wanted them at his side. Forgive me, Father, but it is pretty insensitive to say those words to a parent who has just lost their child. Perhaps pedagogy is not your forte. Bless your ignorance, deputy. But that's how it happened. The people of Serena turned their backs on God. They refused to have anything to do with him, or me. Have you tried to bring them back? Yes, of course, but I've made it worse. I suppose you have noticed that the church lacks an altar. It's hard not to notice. My pleas for them to return to the church were answered with violence. They tried to burn down the church. Looks like they don't beat around the bush around here. A couple of times I've caught someone trying to burn or vandalize the altar. It's a piece of 17th century craftsmanship brought back from one of my trips to Europe. I can't risk losing it. That's why I keep it locked in the basement. It's not a good place for it, but there is no longer a use for it up here, unfortunately. I would like to talk to you about Edward Keller. Edward Keller. A peculiar guy, if I'm being honest. His time in Serena caused some commotion. Why? Someone from Hollywood arriving here with the intention of shooting a movie will always arouse a passion in a town as quiet as this one. People went crazy. Everyone wanted to appear in the film or help in some way. But the shoot never took place. Unless he was shooting another kind of film, Keller was rarely seen without his little 16mm camera. I have been told that you had some kind of relationship with him. Not at first. I tried to convince him to come to Mass, but he wasn't a religious man. Which I respect, and neither are you, but that doesn't stop us from having a little chat. Keller was, so to speak, the complete opposite of you. From what I've heard, he didn't inspire much sympathy. A couple of months later, he came to see me. He was dying. He wanted to be buried in Serena, and for me to take care of it. Keller died here, in Serena? Yes, his remains lie in a crypt inside the mausoleum in Serena Cemetery. So you say. Mind if I check that mausoleum? What did Keller die of? Cancer. That damned scourge. We talked about his burial for a week. The mausoleum had several empty crypts. He thought it was a perfect place for his body to spend eternity. He used to come see me daily with precise instructions, such as the orientation of the tomb, or, very strange and specific instructions or requirements. Do you have the key to the crypt? I only know that he had a copy of the key, but who knows where it is? What was the reason for all these instructions? He was a man of very few words and concise answers. One day I went to ask him why he wanted to be so meticulous about his eternal rest. I never knew. I found his body on the floor. Where did he live? He occupied the former home of the Marsh family. It had been abandoned for almost a century. There is a road to the left of the entrance to the village. If you follow to the end, you will find the house. He was not a believer, but he had a funeral and a Christian burial. That didn't matter to him. He just wanted his remains to rest in this town. No one came to his funeral. I tried to contact his relatives, but I didn't find any. Thank you for your help. If I may ask, what interest do you have in Keller? Few people remember him anymore. Police matters? Something like that. So he didn't shoot a movie here. My guess is that if he always carried his camera with him, he must have shot something. But he didn't have a film crew with him. People, you know. The only thing I saw him do was film people with his little camera, and they were happy to oblige. Did they act? No, no. They simply stared at the camera in silence. I have no idea what he wanted that footage for. Oops. You are welcome, Deputy. As much as I enjoy talking to God, every once in a while it is good for me to talk to someone else. Oh wait, that's the confessional. There's the exit. I didn't take you for a religious man, Mr. Goldberg. Fuck! I can't believe this. You followed me all the way here? I told you that Mr. Ross was not used to getting no for an answer. Don't worry about me. I'm only here as an observer. Observer my ass. If I find Keller's film, you'll see to it that it doesn't make it into Helen's hands, won't you? Do not speculate. Mr. Ross only wants to look at his investment. Investment? Damn it, what investment? That film does not belong exclusively to you, Mr. Goldberg. What are you going to do when you get that film? Let me guess. You're going to take it from me. And you will do it at gunpoint, won't you? This is not one of your movies, Mr. Goldberg. Mr. Ross might triple his offer when the time comes. That will be all. Bullshit. Believe whatever you want, Mr. Goldberg. I'm going to report you to the chief. I see you're dressed as a chief of police. Nice strategy. Everyone will be willing to offer their assistance to a law enforcement officer. Anyway, why would you report me? For harassment, damn it. You haven't stopped doing it since Los Angeles. I'm just visiting this charming town. I don't believe I'm committing any crime. Don't get in my way. I can't help but notice the threatening tone in your words. You don't need to worry. I'm here to help. You want to help, huh? Get out of my sight. Anyway, if you need help, I don't need any help, least of all from you. One never knows, Mr. Goldberg. One never knows. Damn it. Yeah, I trust the guy. We can get it loose. The small window has no latches, impossible to close. On stormy days like these, it usually opens violently, causing an annoying noise that drives Father Adamson crazy. That's why he nailed it in place with a board instead of going for the more logical option of installing a latch on the inside. The banging is really annoying, and probably more so from inside the church. Yeah. I mean, maybe trying to lure him out. The cemetery. What is that? Oh. Right. The house where Keller lived. The old marsh house seems to spread its ruin to the surrounding terrain. Nothing manages to grow here except for an uneasy feeling the longer you stand in front of it. Excuse me. The walls around the perimeter of the marsh house are covered with dry vines, as if they were trying to bury all the evil inside. It is impressive that they are covered with dry vines when rain is pouring from the sky. You must cultivate these vines and turn them into ponchos. Oh. Just going right on in. Keller's obsession with the occult seems to have verged on insanity. An old 8mm projector is pointed at the wall and connected to that rusty diesel generator with a cable. Wait, is this diesel? I don't want to put the wrong thing in and ruin the motor. You lightly shake the can and hear a sloshing sound. There's some left at the bottom. Oh, it doesn't tell me now what it is. By illuminating the wall, you realize that there was a small cabinet hidden by the darkness. This is the second time we're going to use a fuel-powered projector to watch a film clip in a game this month? Closed. You examine the small lock. It has the shape of a cross. You decide to rip it open with your pliers. It was worth a shot. Hey, Captain Thacker, welcome in. How are you? Yeah, popcorn would be nice. It'd also be nice if we had a movie on the projector. Nelson Marsh's gaze seems to follow you no matter where you stand. It will conserve. The lamp of the projector lights up at full intensity, and the gears appear to be in perfect working condition. You need to have a film to test if everything is working properly. Time to watch the Marvels. We'll watch whatever we can find in this town. Could go and get some more fuel, but you probably have more than enough. At least for now. What's that supposed to mean? Several pieces of debris and part of the collapsed ceiling prevent you from reaching the corridor. Hey, Dangerous Dave, welcome in. How are you doing tonight? No sense in going back there then. Oops, that was the same one. Oh, great. Glad to hear it, Dangerous Dave. Doing okay, thanks. Kind of tired. Work. Getting busy. Trying to gauge just how much coming up, but not bad overall. Thanks. This is the last one. Someone's broken in, Bill. I know where that son of a bitch is coming from. Who are you? Oops, I'm sorry to burst in on you like this, but I heard some yelling and I thought, hey, Elijah Superstar, how are you doing? Yeah, the Addams family wasn't home. My name is Alan Goldberg. Robert Saxton told me you live near Serena. Who the hell is Robert Saxton, Bill? Hey, good. If I click off the window, then it freezes the dialogue. You guys, please go check out Elijah Superstar, who also streams a bunch of older games and things. What was it you were streaming the other day? Retro. I play quite a bit of retro myself. Oops. Robert Saxon. Yes. A great friend. Long time no see. Kick him out, Bill. Get that fucking bastard out of my house. I don't know what brought you here, Goldberg, but I can't help you right now. Florence, my wife, she's not. We fled Serena because it wasn't safe. That town must go up in flames. It must be purified. Oh, yeah. My pleasure. Oh, that's great to hear. She is too young to have it. I've managed to put together a routine to keep calm. The classical hour program on WK 107, for example. She listens to it every evening and it helps her relax. Hey, this game's coming pretty well. It's a really fun game. Lots of characters, good story. However, it's running late today because there's a special broadcast about that missing girl in Serena. She's dead. They're all dead. If her routine is altered, she gets nervous and her heart starts racing. She can get tachycardia. I'd be happy to talk to you, Goldberg, but it will have to be later. Of course, I understand. Robert's friends are my friends too. You are welcome at my home. Let's try the breathing exercises, shall we? No! Where's my music? Where? One of the downsides of humid areas, like the outskirts of Wade Creek, is the roaming hordes of mosquitoes ready to feed mercilessly on any human they come across. The Eastmans are more than used to this fact, which is why they always have insecticide at hand. I'm sure they won't notice that missing. It's raining. The mosquitoes are all asleep in bed. In a telephone call, a guy is theorizing that the disappearance of the Jordan girl is connected to that of Mary Elizabeth Hellman in 1975.
Streamer, streaming,
He
game on
also
stream,
has
streamer,
the
I'm
theory.
afraid. Streamer, you must pause my stream, streamer got a raid. Here's a raider leading
Oh,
raiders, welcome
hey.
welcome raiders. Are the raiders
Raid.
alligators? Raider, grackle.
From Slarty Bardfast, thank you so much. How are you doing tonight, Slarty? Are you playing... Was it the NES Friday the 13th you were playing today? You guys, please go check out Slarty Bardfast. It's a retro streamer, largely. And welcome in, everybody. I'm Purblind Gamer. I'm a legally blind retro and variety streamer who plays a mixture of adventures and action and all kinds of different stuff. And tonight we're playing Nightmare Frames, which is a really good point-and-click adventure from just last year about a screenwriter trying to find the horrific lost film of a deranged director. And it's pretty good. And it's going pretty well, Slarty. How was your stream? There's Little Nightmares, or no, Nightmare Creatures 2. Creatures 2. I remember hearing about that. Wasn't Nightmare Creatures 2... Was that on the PC or is that a console exclusive? Oh, congrats on playing... congrats on finishing Nightmare the 13th on the NES. That's not easy. Okay, it was PS1. I don't know why I was thinking it was like Saturn or Dreamcast. Oh, it was on Dreamcast too. Okay. I knew the first one was on PC, but maybe only the first one got the PC for it. But agreed, yeah, Wirebrain, I really am enjoying this game. Thank you so much for recommending it. It's great so far. We're getting further and further into the creepy parts. Yeah, and I don't think I knew it was on PS1. It's impossible to keep track of what all the consoles that each game is on, especially so many years later. Oh, you played Nightmare Creatures 1 last year for Spooktober. Nice. I tried it a few times, but it seemed to be kind of tough. You had to keep going and killing stuff. Oh, the first one's really hard. I hope the second one is easier. He also had the theory that Serena's entirety of misfortune is due to the fact that one of the witches in the Salem trials was originally from Serena. You memorized the phone number. Wow, another talk about witches. The host cuts her caller off and says, "Just a reminder that you can call us at 555-3231 if you have any information about the disappearance of Sarah Jordan." You notice in her voice that she's wishing the person on the air would just get his call over with. And we may end up calling that. Oh, Nightmare Creatures 2 is really different and a big improvement. That's good. It's nice to see when they improve on the sequel, with the sequels. Learn from the shortcomings of the first one. Bill and Florence's photo was taken in the mid-70s. They were both in perfect health and ready to take on the world. Florence had her daughter Meredith attend her senior year of high school at Wade Creek, Sheridan. That decision meant that her daughter did not perish in the flames at Serena's Clark Morgan High School, like all her former classmates. Yeah, we probably can't go snooping around their house with them there. Bill and Florence Eastman's record collection sums up what rock was all about in the 1970s. Unfortunately, there is no classical music to help Florence calm down. You think this is ridiculous oversight. No kidding. Intro of Nightmare Creatures 2 has Rob Zombie music. Wow. That's neat. See what music they sometimes end up using in games. In this game, there's one point where you can go into a diner and a DJ is playing different random songs. Demonoid Phenomenon. Oh, that's a great title for a song. It sounds exactly like a 70s or 80s horror movie. Build a cemetery halfway. That was the intention, no doubt. Shit, you startled me. What are you doing here? I wanted to take a look at the cemetery. It is not possible. I just closed it. She doesn't want to leave today. Who? Her, damn it. Charlotte Wilkes. Who is Charlotte Wilkes? Thomas Wilkes' wife. She shows up at the mausoleum from time to time. I try to avoid her, but today she's been in there a day. All day. Wait a minute, you mean it's a ghost? Yes. I don't want to be responsible for any misfortunes, so the cemetery will remain closed until further notice. But wouldn't it be possible? No, it is not possible, and something tells me that you're going to try to get inside anyway, so I'm going to stand guard outside the door so you don't get any funny ideas. I have all day. Is that clear? Yeah, there are a lot of locations. And all these are just since the start of this chapter or section of the game. There were plenty before. It's a pretty big game. Yeah. He's going to stand in the rain for hours just in case I try and get in. That's dedication to your job? More like dedication to your job. Because your job's full of dead people. Yeah, thanks. Willie also acts as gardener, but only for the inside. That's why the entrance to the cemetery looks neglected and overgrown with bushes and weeds. For 50 years, Willie Baxter has been the sole undertaker at Serena Cemetery, perhaps one of the most populated ones in the entire area, due to the accumulation of misfortunes going back centuries before he took the job. Willie, how could I get into the cemetery? You're a law enforcement officer, aren't you? Get a warrant, and we would still have to talk it over. Do you really believe that there's a ghost in the cemetery? Not in the cemetery, in the mausoleum. And if I can't get rid of her, at least I can make her stay there. If she gets out of there, we'll all be doomed. She was already cruel when she was alive, so I can't imagine how she'll be in death. Is there anything I can do for you? You're being polite, so I'll let you in, right? Forget it. That won't work on me. I mean, I could try hitting you over the head with my gun and knock you unconscious. I mean, I'm wearing a chief of police's coat, and from what I've seen, that's what chiefs of police do in Serena. Wouldn't presume to know about the rest of the world. What did he say? Nah, nothing there. Yeah, you don't have... I don't trust you. Don't have a ghost of a chance of getting in. A ghost, on the other hand, might have a chance. I don't think there's anything else here. Oh, right. Insecticide. It's kind of refreshing when characters tell you outright they don't trust you. No need to figure it out. Still in there. There's a phone in the police station, but I don't have any info about her whereabouts. Yeah, there's some good music in parts of this game, isn't there? There's the police station. Yeah, which is perfect. Like 80s synth horror kind of music. In a game like this, which is set in the 80s, no less. Serena's morgue, one of the busiest places in the last 100 years. Closed. Yeah. Elderly switchboard operator. This is Margaret speaking to you from Serena. Who would you like to talk to, Chief? I'm not the chief. You're speaking from the chief's office? Yeah, but I'm not the chief. All right. Who would you like to talk to? Ruskin Productions, Hollywood. Chief Bowman called this morning. I think I have the number here. Yes, here it is. Just a moment, please. Ruskin Productions, Pam speaking. Hi, Pam. Alan, Christopher has been trying to contact you, but he couldn't reach you. He wanted to suggest a scene for the second act. I'm not in LA right now. Where? Serena, near Sacramento. In search of inspiration? More like looking to change my luck. When are you coming back? Soon, I hope. That's fine with me, Alan. Use the time to clear your mind, okay? I'll certainly try. Do you need anything else? No, I'm fine. Then I'll let you go for now. I've got a call on the other line. Take care. Joe's Diner, Hollywood. Yes, I got that number here. The chief has been talking to them tonight. Just a moment, please. Joe's Diner. Best burgers in all of Hollywood. I'm Karen. How can I help you? Do I always have to say that, Joe? Karen, it's Alan. Vicky isn't here, Alan. You wanted to talk to her, didn't you? Yes, actually. You miss her, huh? You two should fix things up. Anyway, she dropped by this morning to see if you were around. She's very happy with the shoot and wanted to thank you. Who is it? Alan. Give me the phone. Hey, you. Wasn't it enough leaving me without a waitress that now you have to distract the only one I have left? Aren't you happy that Vicky has achieved her dream? In a movie where she has to show her boobs? Well, yes, I'm happy for her. But we're up to our ears in work, so don't sidetrack the staff, okay? I just wanted to. We'll talk to Joe when we get back. Steam achievement. WK-107, Wade Creek. Just a moment, please. Line is busy, Chief. Does the station only have one line? Yes, Chief. I'll try them later. Oh God, was it a Stevie Wonder reference? There might have been. I missed it. Insecticide. Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that, Wirebrain. He's in an enclosed space, isn't he? If only we had something dangerous if used in enclosed spaces. Like, I don't know, chlorine gas. We don't. But we have insecticide. it's in the other part of town. Yeah, just open the door, spray him in the face with it. Don't try this at home, kids.
I have to go, Cynthia. I can't breathe. I will try to call back. I still have lots more to say.
I thought he'd never leave. Oh. You notice that there are still particles of insecticide floating inside, so you don't dare go inside. If you want to make a call, you can use the police station phone. Is it better to... I don't know anything about Sarah Jordan yet, do I? I fear I might as well save again. Been a while. Yeah! Yeah, we read one of the pulps. And we also stole a weight. That was fun. We could go read another. They might have multiple ones. Yeah, let's see what other fun things they are. Wait. The drugstore. The police station. All of these buildings look alike to me. Is that right? Yeah.
Look at this. A million weak spots up here.
Don't mind me, just reading the magazines.
Her brother was killed.
Is the order different?
Talk about these windows. We can't see a damn thing.
The incessant buzzing became increasingly louder the closer Ray got to it. Jack threw up his hands to his head in a vain attempt to stop that piercing sound. Do you want to know how I know that? His former co-worker asked, when he was already less than a meter away from him. In his mind, he forged an image of that fateful night when he thought he had been alone with Catherine. Ray was there, in the shadows. He could see everything. Blood spurted from his ears and nostrils. He noticed that his brain was swelling before his head exploded into 1,000 pieces. I can still see Catherine. Jack, I'll stay with you for a while. I don't want to forget her, he said as he fiddled with the remains of what used to be her head just seconds earlier. The story reminds you of David Cronenberg's Scanners and a bit of Brian De Palma's The Fury. You are sure that with that kind of material you could write a film closer to horror rather than to science fiction leanings of those two films.
We have to go downstairs now, Barbara.
Oh, the Fury, is that? No, I think.
Oh, like to leave.
It's funny they have those two movies together, because unless I'm mistaken, my dad and I got copies of them, both from the same video store that closed down in like 2000. Wow. Not that I would actually get to see them for years. I was a little bit old for me at the time. Ooh. The grandmother's doll. Jungle of the Undead. Harry grabbed the doll by its feet, ran out of the house, and looked for his car through the heavy curtain of rain. He tossed it dismissively into the back seat and headed for the church, as fast as the engine allowed him to go. Yeah, I'm 90% sure it's the one I'm thinking of, though. When did I see it? Maybe shortly after high school, Dad and I finally watched it. I don't remember it in much detail. Yeah, but I remember even then drawing parallels between it and Scanners. Is this how my grandson treats me? A voice croaked from the back. He nervously looked in the rearview mirror and swerved when he realized the doll was no longer there. You've been a bad grandson, Harry, said the doll as she appeared in the passenger seat. You think a terrifying story about dolls coming to life would make a good movie that Ruskin would be happy to produce. Wait a minute, Alan. Not even 24 hours ago, the idea of writing something that wasn't a drama frustrated you, and now you're seriously considering a movie about killer dolls. Are you okay, Alan? That's what I'm asking myself. Wait, who am I talking to? Then we talked to, what's his name? The head of Flying Saucer Pictures, about killer dolls, and he said he wouldn't do it unless he had the doll was played by a little person, someone he happened to know. Yeah, like, is it just coincidence these movies come out? Two or three of the similar type? Or does one see the other, or get wind of the other, and then copy it? That. Nah, that's one we saw earlier. Looks like Mothman. Oh, right, that's right. Can't use the booth, we gotta go back to the police station. Apparently insecticide takes a while to clear out of confined spaces. Yeah, that is really cool. Thanks for pointing me towards that wirebrain. Yeah, he's finding joy in the genre and getting into a horror mindset as he looks for this movie. This is Margaret speaking to you from Serena. Who would you like to talk to, Chief? We'll let it go.
WK10, Doug speaking. Are you calling to go on the air and provide information about Sarah Jordan's disappearance?
No. Actually, I think the program is dragging on a bit. Shouldn't you be airing the classical music hour already?
No can do, my friend. We're in the middle of a news special.
I've been listening to it. You just had a guy on air for I don't know how long who didn't contribute a single thing. I know the way that the media loves to gloat over stories that can be done with in 5 minutes. You don't hear anything on the other end of the line, and you start to think that this was not the best way to convince WK107 to air Florence Eastman's favorite show. Hello?
Listen up, buddy. We believe we're providing a public service by attempting to gather as much information as possible about the poor girl.
I have no doubt about it. But there is just no information to gather. Chief Bowman has not been able to find her, and he doesn't have any leads either.
How do you know that?
Because I know the chief. So the best thing you can do is to wrap up the news special and resume the regular schedule.
Can I be honest with you?
Please.
This is a small radio station. It's very difficult for us to generate our own content, so this is a huge opportunity for us.
Do you want content? I can give you content. I am a Hollywood screenwriter. You can interview me if you wish.
See if they look down on screenwriters again. Hollywood screenwriter? What films have you written?
Does Lunatic ring any bells?
Wait a minute. You're the screenwriter of one of the highest grossing films this season? I'm sure you have a lot to tell the listeners.
Yes, I'm Alan Goldberg. You can check the credits.
And you would really give us an interview?
Yes, as long as you air the classical hour when I hang up.
Consider it done, my friend. Can you drop by the station tonight? Shall we say 9 o'clock?
Perfect. You can't see Doug, but right now he's tapping on the glass of the booth, letting Cynthia, the announcer, know that the newscast is over.
All right, Mr. Goldberg. We look forward to seeing you tonight.
It'll be my pleasure. Much to your own surprise, you realize that you wouldn't have a problem giving an interview to a small radio station. You might not even have to get drunk for it and insult famous people. What's going on with you, Alan? A day earlier, you would have turned down even the Hollywood Reporter. Still, you know that the interview won't happen. You have too much to do. Yeah, they trusted us, and we're just going to, abandon them. Such as talking to Bill Eastman. Longer we have in this section. I may need to wrap it up when we come to a stopping place. Damn. Thought I wouldn't get tired. Apparently the late nights add up. For a while anyway. Yeah, I see what you mean, Wirebrain. Yeah, it's definitely changing. It took a lot of effort to try to calm her down. Don't upset her. Ahem. Florence has calmed down, so I can attend to you now. How can I help you, Goldberg? I'll get straight to the point. I'm looking for Edward Keller's lost film, and apparently, you were the person who brought attention to it. Keller, yes, that was a long time ago. At the time, he was considered a counterculture icon, thanks to his film Bloody Mind Games. He He was an interesting character with an intriguing aura. All the press wanted to interview him, but nobody could find him. I pulled a few strings until I found out where he was. Had a chat with him, but never transcribed the interview. There. Why was the interview never published? When I came to Serena, I was long burnt out from Los Angeles, its pace of life, and my job at the magazine. I met Florence on my first day in Serena. We fell head over heels for each other and started to make plans. Meanwhile, I was hounding Keller for an interview until I finally succeeded. I called the newsroom, gave them a vague summary of Keller's words, and resigned from my position at Variety so I could start a new life. I'm surprised anyone knows about that film. As far as I know, the magazine never published anything about it. But it is known that you made that call. It's part of the reason there's a whole legend around that movie. I guess collectors have been chasing after it, right? Exactly. Are you one of them, Goldberg? No, but there's a millionaire who will change my life if I get that movie. Let me guess. The fairy godmother. Damn right. I wanted to write an article about her, but I couldn't gather enough evidence to corroborate who she was. It's Helen Westmore, right? Yep. I knew it. Did you get to see the film? No. Keller said that he only had one more scene to go, and then the movie would be finished. It is rumored to be the scariest movie in history. Well, maybe that's partly my fault. I exaggerated a bit when I called the newspaper. But I might not have been too far from the truth. Keller was immensely talented. There's no horror film that I can compare to his debut feature. For that Lost film, I don't think it was very conventional. It was shot in Serena with a small 16mm camera with direct sound. There were no actors either. I guess it was a work of a somewhat experimental nature, but I never doubted for a moment that it would make audiences tremble with fear. The man was a genius. Who could have the film? I read about his death in the Serena Gazette, but there was nothing about the film in the article. He probably hid it somewhere and took the secret with him to his grave. I would have liked to read that interview. It might give me more leads as to the location of the film. I recorded the interview, Goldberg. It's still in my tape recorder. It was the last time I ever used it. You want to hear it? Of course. Just give me a minute. I think I know right where I put it. Florence is entranced by the music coming from the radio. From time to time, she flashes an indulgent smile. One day I saw him in the bar. I didn't know how much he had drunk, but he could barely stand upright. He was lucid, yes, but completely drunk. He had already denied me the interview several times, but I took advantage of his condition and tried one last time. And it worked. This is what he said. First of all, I want to thank you for granting me this interview. It's well known that you are not fond of them. My work speaks for me. I'll leave the recorder here between us if that's okay. What did you say you wanted to drink? whiskey. Are you sure? Haven't you already had a few? Who cares? I'm already dead. I'm sorry, what? I have cancer. I'm not going to last long. I'm sorry. Are you getting some kind of therapy? Oops. Oh yes, I definitely am. Right, and what is the child having? Who are you calling a child, bozo? I'm old enough to drink. Okay, sorry. A beer. Whiskey and beer, okay. Waiter, a whiskey and 2 beers, please. Shall we begin? You've been spotted around Serena shooting with a small 16mm camera. No crew and... No crew? What about me? Please excuse my assistant director. He is young and impulsive. Yes, what are you shooting exactly? My new film. It will be different from Bloody Mind Games. Smaller, less conventional, but really terrifying. What do you feel when you watch a horror movie? Fear, anguish, but as soon as the projection's over, it all fades away. It is a false sensation. And that can be considered a failure for any director. You want to go further? I am going further. Here you go, gentlemen. 1 whiskey and 2. What the fuck are you doing, Patrick? Rolling a joint. Problem? I'm not going to let you smoke that hippie shit in here. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Everybody's smoking. Yeah, but not that shit. Wait outside, Patrick. I'm taking the beer. This isn't over, Gene. Watch your back. Damn kid, always making trouble. When you say that you're going further, what do you mean? More blood? More killings? That's for amateurs. I have found a way to shoot a film and have the audience feel the true sensation of fear. They won't be safe during the screening, and if they make it out alive, they will carry that fear with them for the rest of their lives. And I will feed on their fears. The terror will make me Edward Keller. And I will feed on their fears. I will transcend. I will be immortal. Wow, that'll make for a pretty good tagline. Do you think I'm joking? Do I look like I don't take my job seriously? Can you see why I don't give interviews? You are not ready to hear the truth. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. Please accept my apologies. When will we be able to watch this film? It's almost ready. All that's left is to shoot the big final scene, the one that will make... I think I'm wasting my time with you. I'm leaving. I didn't mean to offend you. Please stay. What an asshole. Yes, he didn't inspire much sympathy in the town. Who was that kid in the recording? Patrick Robinson. I'd completely forgotten about him. He was a troubled orphan who used to run around the Serena. Keller became fond of him and took him on as an assistant. If he helped make the film and Keller is dead, he may be the only person who knows its whereabouts. Probably. What happened to him? Is he still hanging around Serena? He wasn't quite right in the head. He set himself on fire. Did he die? No, he managed to survive. It's said that he lives in a caravan in the middle of the forest. And if the locals know, they won't tell you. They sleep better knowing that Patrick can no longer cause any more harm in this town. Tommy? What is it, darling? Tommy, the village idiot. He does his grocery shopping for him every week and takes it to him. Bill Eastman's eyes begin to water. It's been a long time since he last heard his wife's warm, soothing voice. Find Tommy. He's a tall, rather peculiar guy. You'll know who he is when you meet him. I'm glad you came, but if you'll excuse me, it's been a long time since Florence. I understand. Go to your wife. And thank you for the information. Good luck on your search. Thank you. How do you feel, darling? Do you like this music, Bill? Oh, yes, I love it. Okay, that's good, because I'm starting to get really tired. Just finish the act, and then I better call it a night. Then, right? If I go to... Oh, Act 3 is really short. Maybe I ask, like, about what percentage through the game would you estimate we are, Wirebrain? Yeah, the LA part was hugely long. Oh, okay. Well then, I think if I'm... I'm gonna try and do it in one more stream. I also had the idea of... Yeah, you know, maybe I should just end now, because I'm quite tired. Yeah. But you know, maybe I should call it this point, because I feel like I'm really close to falling asleep, and yeah, that's probably the safer thing to do. Go here and just save the game. Yeah. Yeah. My pleasure, Great White Knoll. Yeah, can't fight sleep forever. Yeah, no, this game's a good length, a good value. There we are. So this is a really fun game. I'm enjoying the plot, and I mean, part of me wants to keep going more tonight, and because I want to see where it goes, but I also think I've gotten to the point where I would be enjoying it more if I were more alert. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a long game, and they really utilize the time well, and have it well structured, and slowly draw you in and make you want to learn more, and you gradually learn just more and more about him. And yeah, because he doesn't even mention until surprisingly far into the game, almost as though it is. I mean, almost as though it's structured like a movie, but I don't know. I'd have to do more thorough analysis before I would commit to that. Yeah. So I'll find somebody to raid. Oh, actually, I think I know who we should raid if he's still online. But as for what's coming up on stream, on Saturday, we'll have Short Horror Saturday. And I was thinking of a Halloween-themed visual novel type of game. And then Sunday, I don't know. I'm wondering if we should try and finish this and Alone in the Dark 3 on Sunday. But, oh yeah. Yeah, there's some really chilling stuff. I don't know, I'll try and figure out how long I have left exactly in this and Alone in the Dark 3. If I finish them both Sunday, we could start another horror game, Wednesday. That's what I'm thinking, but I also said I gotta do stuff on Sunday, because I gotta clean up more stuff around the house, kind of under a deadline, and various other things. I don't know how bad that's going to be, just like I don't really know how bad work's going to be. But if we don't finish both on Sunday, then we'll probably finish Alone in the Dark 3 Sunday and finish this next Wednesday. I think would be the best tentative plan. And then I'll try and read more of Benighted either this coming Monday or the following Monday. I want to get at least one more installment in Spooktober. And I'm thinking I'll have my Halloween special on November the 1st. And then if that's after work and I get home late. Well, we have time to figure out all that. Alright. Who's online? Oops, that's the game. Oh, my pleasure, Dangerous Dave. Thanks for being here. Oops. Oh, man. Bumfluff's not online anymore. I'm gonna raid him for his birthday. See. Hello, Spooktober. Everybody's playing horror games. We've got Eternal Darkness, Night Trap, Castlevania. I'm feeling a lot of people playing various Castlevania games, of which there are very many. Oops. Yeah. Yeah, maybe we should play. Oh, tomorrow World of Horror is being released out of early access. Now that sounds pretty cool. Didn't we raid him not that long ago? Good. Okay, I'm getting tired again. Well, I think since we're talking, playing a game about finding a horror movie, we should raid somewhere that is in fact a horror movie, in game form. And Ghoul Babe is playing at a horror classic Night Trap. So shocking and offensive, it led to the creation of the video game rating system in the United States. Or possibly not that shocking and offensive, and politicians needed to sit down and shut up and stop whining and telling lies. Ha ha ha, like they're going to do that. You gotta play Night Trap one of these days. Actually, I have copies, both the old PC port and the modern PC port. Yeah, I love FMV games. Maybe I should do FMV February. Oops. I cannot type. There we go. Once again, thank you all so much for coming to enjoy this really great horror game with me. I appreciate everybody being here, and all the chatters and all the lurkers, and thanks for the raids tonight. And yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter and MySpace, where I post stream announcements and sometimes random other things. And you can find VODs of my past streams up on YouTube. And I really hope I'll be more alert. Well, next stream will be the weekend, I ought to be. But next Sunday, or Wednesday, hope I'll be more alert and make it last longer. But hope everybody has a good night. Doesn't have to jump into any sewers anytime soon. And yeah, say hi to Ghoul Babe and enjoy Night Trap, and I've really got to put this crow outside. But I'll see you guys here on Saturday for even more horror.